What's up guys, BltzZ here today bringing you another video. In today's video I have some important things I need to talk about for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Some of these many of you guys may already know, but I guarantee there is one huge one in this video that more than 75% of you guys will be shocked by. Because I most definitely did not expect this to be a thing. We're going to be talking about the stagger and pressure mechanics in this video, and a few tips about them to help you guys out. This video will definitely benefit you in a hard mode playthrough, so you're going to want to stay tuned and watch the entire video. Now without further ado, let's get into the pressure and stagger mechanics. Cloud, Barret, and Tifa all have abilities with the word focus in them. Only Aerith is without a focus attack, but that's okay since she is a strong magic user. Most of her magic attacks can cause pressure or invoke a stagger. These focus attacks say they cause a significant stagger damage, however, that is not the case all the time. If you use one of these moves regularly, you'll damage opponents, but the stagger gauge barely increases off of this. Now this may not seem like news to many of you guys, but the actual way you need to be using this is when you have an enemy pressured. Pressure is different for each enemy, but most commonly it's activated when they take a lot of damage or get hit with a spell that they're weak against. Once enemies are in the pressure state, you're now going to want to use that focus attack, and see here the focus shot now does an insane amount of stagger, almost filling up the entire bar, significantly more than before. These focus attacks are super important for ensuring that you stagger an enemy in almost every fight. Going for that early pressure can get you in a situation to inflict crazy damage without taking any yourself. Here's an example of Barret using other abilities while enemies are pressured. These ones do great damage, but they don't really help the stagger gauge much in comparison to focus shots. These focus attacks are designed specifically to help you benefit off of pressuring enemies. So in order to fully ensure that you stagger an enemy, use all of your teammates' focus attacks at the same time when enemies are pressured. I swear, every day I'm finding more and more things about this combat system, and it reminds me of how much effort they really put into this game. Not only do special attacks or magic attacks pressure your enemies, but regular basic attacks can as well when it passes a certain threshold. Remember, this is not the case for all enemies. Others will have different requirements that you'll have to cast Assess to see. If not, just chuck some crazy strong magic at them. That'll definitely pressure them. When you're in full team combat with all your teammates, if you see an enemy has pressured above their heads, be sure to focus them immediately and take them out of the fight. My Cloud here has lightning elemental damage on his sword strikes. It caused enemy sweeper to go into an early pressured state. Now here you can use Cloud's focus thrust to fill up more than half of the enemy's stagger bar. What's great about this attack is that it only costs 1 ATB bar, so it's very important to keep this accessible for Cloud to use whenever needed. Tifa's focus strike dodges backwards and then charges forward with a really hard hit. Like all the other focus attacks outside of pressure, this does not increase stagger by a whole lot. Tifa does not have a hard time putting opponents into pressure. As always, make sure she's in Chi level 3 with Red Fist. Her basic attacks and wide variety of special moves can all pressure enemies. Once enemies are finally staggered, be sure to spend all of Tifa's Chi by tapping triangle to do Rise and Fall, then Omni Strike and Whirling Uppercut. These moves increase the stagger damage bonus percentage, and are the only ones that can do so in the entire game. She can help your team initiate and inflict crazy amounts of damage and be devastating to bosses. This has to be one of the coolest looking combos. There's so many things I love about Tifa, and this is definitely one of them. She has great utility to benefit everyone's damage. This next part is super important, and is what I was talking about when I said many of you guys may not know about this. When you max out the time Materia, you get the magic move Stop. This freezes your opponent still for about 10 seconds. It's a very strong move to help you regain control and inflict crazy damage. But the most insane way to use this is when you finally stagger an enemy. When an enemy is staggered and you use Stop on them, it not only freezes them, but also stops their stagger gauge from going down. I don't think I need to explain to you guys exactly how insane this is, but holy shit. With this Materia, you can throw down some serious damage. I mean, an extra 10 seconds. There are just so many things that you can get done in that time. This is just freaking cool, and I found out about this by luck. I was just maxing out green Materia so I can get the final battle report done, and I saw time was finished. So I basically had a thought to use Stop on an enemy, and I noticed their stagger gauge was not going down, and this made me lose my mind. It adds a whole new element to the game and provides more diversity for Materia combinations that many others have yet to think about. The best way to use this is after an enemy has been staggered and Tifa raises their percentage. Then you can cast Stop on them and just go ham on them for an extra 10 seconds. There is a debuff indicator by their health bar that shows you how much time you have left till they can move, which is pretty awesome to see. I'm so happy that they have MMO elements in this game that just provides a quality of life service. In the original Final Fantasy VII, I never cared for or used Stop, but in this game it's going to be one of my most used spells. Another way to figure out how to pressure enemies is by assessing them. When you assess enemies, sometimes the yellow text or general text gives you tips on how to stagger them easier. Like against these flamethrowers, if you damage them from behind, the tank on their back can explode and put them in a pressured state. However, this does not last that long, so it's kind of hard to stagger them with only one character. But this is just an example of how you can look it up. If it says nothing, then just go for their weakness or flat out damage them until you get them in pressured. Assessing enemies is super valuable and can provide some crazy insight on some things that you probably would have never known. Against these sweepers, the obvious thing is that we know that they're weak to lightning, and it basically just says to damage them a lot to pressure them basically. But there are other enemies who have interesting texts on how to beat or stagger. Against a shock trooper here, they are normally very easy to parry, and take a lot of stagger from Cloud when you do so. It says that when they're staggered, you can actually hit them with a fire attack basically to murder them. And that wraps it up for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this. I may have over-exaggerated when I said 75% of you guys wouldn't know about the stop materia and stagger mechanic, but please let me know if you guys were genuinely surprised. Stay tuned for the advanced character guides that will be coming soon for you all. I can't wait to show you what we have in store. I appreciate all the newcomers to the channel and veterans as well. We're almost at my goal, which is 10,000 subscribers. I totally can't wait for that time to come. So be sure to share this video and leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe and stay tuned. More Final Fantasy VII videos will be coming your way and you won't want to miss that. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.